Hi, ever wonder what it's like to work another profession or live in the underworld? Listen to unsuspecting riders give a 10 to 15 minute personal masterclass as I spontaneously interview them as they enter my taxi. I'm your host, Simon Rushton, and this is Taxi Chronicles. Morning. Yes, we're back with another episode, another rider. Today we have the lovely Sally in the car, and she's studying English, and she's very well spoken, and she's gonna grace us with some stories about who she is and all the rest of it, or her life experience, so to speak. But anyway, nice to have you here today, Sally.
Thank you very much. So it's very nice to be here.
Before we start, what kind of person were you in school?
At school, I guess you could call me like the odd sheep of the pack. I don't know. I think when I was 14 or 13, I started having a YouTube channel, and I went to an all-girls school, and everyone bullied me for it. They were like, "Oh, you're talking to a camera." But the YouTube friends that I made now, that didn't stop. I deleted my channel, but they're doing very well in life, and they're like the big names that you associate them with.
So people put you down about it, is that right? Is that what you're saying?
I guess so, but as you grow older, you realise it doesn't really matter. Yeah. Like, if I didn't stop that, I would have been doing, I don't know, brand deals. Yeah.
So what was you doing? Makeup and stuff?
I did, yeah. It's not really who I am now, but before, I was like a 14-year-old doing makeup and hair and just talking to the camera. But I feel like I would do something like that now. I still have the channel, it's just my videos are privatized, but I really don't like influencer culture. I feel like it's very fake, so I would do something against it. I'd be like, why are we being so fake? And
yeah, well, you could do that, but you could do this brand works or that brand doesn't work. Just be really critical.
Yeah.
And this brand works for whatever skin tone from what I've found, and you bring people on and do collaborations.
I could.
Do you see what I mean? And then, you don't even have to worry about sponsorships. You'll get views on that.
I guess so. Yeah.
What I would say, sorry, go on.
No, I was going to say, I just think the whole Instagram social media thing is a bit fake.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Like, I went to Selfridges yesterday, and I saw some rappers. And a lot of rappers, I know they don't really talk about their life. It's a lot of, they're saying it for money. Well, some people actually do what they talk about. But I saw the people, and they talk about that they do this and that, and they've got away with this and that. And I see them with bodyguards. I think if you're really about that life, you wouldn't need a bodyguard. Do you know what I mean? Just maybe.
Yeah. But I suppose in some cases, agents would make them have a bodyguard.
Yes. I guess if you're commercial.
You don't need the issue, you don't need the problem. I'm not sure if you remember a group called So Solid years ago.
Actually, I don't.
They were from this area, Battersea, we're driving through now, and there's lots of them, about 20, 30 of them. Because obviously the kind of nature stuff that they wrote about, they were always getting confliction.
Yeah.
So they always, and then there was gun issues, and there was fights and mugging. All these, it just got ridiculous, and eventually, as you know, you don't hear about them now anymore.
Yeah.
For a reason. Do you know what I mean? So the agent could have just given them security and kept them from all the issues. That's just life. That's his life. So you said you were the quiet lady, reasonably quiet, but you're a bit out there. What else did you do? Were you a sporty person?
I'm not actually sporty. Not really.
Not really. Okay. What gave you desire to do the YouTube channel? That's really interesting.
I just feel like I'm I don't know, I actually enjoy it, like having like this community that you can talk about things and just be yourself. Because I feel like in this world it's just quite hard, like when you're at school especially, it's hard to find people. Because at that age, even at my age now, I look at people my age, I don't really hang out with many of them because you can just feel that they're so insecure and they're just trying to impress people with things they can't afford. I was thinking, I feel sorry for them. But do you know what I mean? It's
No.
quite artificial.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. It's my friend, her son, he's only 10 or 11, something like that, and he doesn't understand about brand names because she brought him up purposely not to care about brand names.
That's really
They
good.
lived abroad, and he says when somebody does say, haha, you've got, I know, whatever trainers on, they say, what's the problem? My feet are dry, they're comfortable.
Exactly.
How many languages do you speak?
Me?
No, they're here saying that to them. How many languages do you to speak? Do you understand the science of blah, blah, blah? But you're laughing about my trainers, but these are basic things you can't even do. You only speak one language. How about you come elevate to my level before you start criticising me of something that's trivial?
It's true.
And there's a scene in Sherlock Holmes about that as well, where he's saying he doesn't like to retain information that's not useful, so he doesn't like to hear anything that doesn't in line with what he's about. And I thought that's very deep.
Yeah.
And then it kind of, I look at it in the same way. I wouldn't want to ever know about the Kardashians. I only found out them about a year or two ago. But I wouldn't want any of that seen me even to walk in the room and see it's on here, because it's stuff I don't need to remember.
Yeah.
If you see what I mean, stuff like that. So, what are your likes and dislikes? You said you've got some stories that you could tell.
I like philosophy. I like music. What else do I like? I like swimming. And just feeling relaxed, really.
As somebody who likes philosophy, what era, if you could be in any era in time, what era would you have been in? And why?
Actually, I would actually just live now, if I'm honest with you. Because I think now this is when no one very few people realise that this is, like, we're very lucky enough to be living in an age where everything's changing. Like, everything's going digital, and a lot of people are not going with the flow. For example, I speak to a lot of older people, and I'm telling them, why aren't you investing into cryptocurrencies? And I think it's a get-rich-quick scheme, and I think, no, if you actually research about it, we're going to be on a digital economy soon. We've gone cashless already. Like, stuff like that. So I just feel like, and also now we live in a classless society to some degree as well, because of the internet. Everyone has equal opportunities. So.
It's funny you say about the cashless, because obviously McDonald's, a lot of the McDonald's now, they say card only, and you go to, as a driver, we go to these car parks, and it's card only. And when you think about it, if it's card only, and that system connected to the internet, every day they don't need a man to come out and pick up the money. They don't need to pay for a security firm to escort the money. It's just every day money goes into their bank from that system to say, things like that. So, are you a great traveller?
A great traveller?
Yeah, are you a person who loves to travel?
When I was a bit younger, I did. I still do now, but obviously I can't.
Yeah.
Well, no one can. So, yeah.
Okay. So what were these stories? You're just going to tell us a story or two.
They're very out there. I don't know what...
No, come on, just tell us a story and we'll be the judge of that.
So some interesting things that happened in my life. When I was 19, my lungs collapsed. Yeah, that's a bit crazy.
Go on. There's an actor that happened to.
Yeah, I don't know who, but...
Your brother? Is it your brother? He's like brown.
Is he quite tall?
Yeah, tall. He had a bald head. And he did, you know, when movies gone from black and white to Technicolor.
Yeah.
Because of that era, like where you have what's that? Mark Antony. These are some famous actors from those times. I can't remember their name, but he's from that era, and he had one lung.
It's crazy.
And he managed to do the whole dance routine and moved on. But sorry, you were telling us a story.
It's crazy. Yeah, it happens to a lot of tall, slim men. But I'm not a man, so the doctors don't know what happened, but it was spontaneous. I was at a friend's party, I think I was in Peckham, and all my friends were like, oh, you're attention seeking. I was like, no guys, I can't breathe.
In Peckham, okay.
Yeah.
You really do keep diverse friends. They're good.
Yeah. But yeah, I couldn't breathe at all, and then the ambulance picked me up, and they were really judging me. They were like, "What drugs have you done?" I was like, "I haven't done any drugs. Like, can you help me out? I feel like something's going to pop." And they took me to King's College Hospital, and they were like, "Oh, it's a 10-hour waiting queue." I was telling the guys, I can't breathe, I can't even straighten my back, so I just went home. I think if something's going to happen, it might as well happen at home. And I spent 2 days in bed, and my parents were telling me, "Oh, you probably have pneumonia or like a chronic cough," because my cough was really dry. And I went to Kingston Hospital, and they took me to the resuscitation room, and they're like, "We're going to give you open surgery." That was great.
It collapsed by then already?
Yeah, it collapsed. So I spent 2 days with like one lung.
So it collapsed when you was in Peckham?
Yeah.
Have you sued King's?
I tried to, because I was like, that's actually really rude. I could have died. But I don't know how to sue them.
No, listen, go to a medical specialist.
Yeah.
And like the lawyer, and sue them, man. They send you away. And how old are you then?
I was 19.
Okay, well, so you're not classed as a juvenile, really. So, but still, if they sent you away, no, you need to sue them. You could have died. You're telling they didn't even scan your lungs.
No.
MRI or anything.
They didn't even X-ray me. Yeah.
No. That's not good. That's not good at all. I know King's is known for. So, what did you learn from all that experience then?
Okay, so this is gonna sound so cheesy, but I genuinely learned that life can be taken away from you. Like, at any moment, life is so fragile. A lot of people associate, death and life as two things, but it's the same thing, really. I don't know, because when I was in hospital for a month, and I had these tubes, and it was horrible, and I thought, I don't know, when you're at that stage, nothing matters, money doesn't matter, all that matters is, like, you feel really lighthearted, and you just feel like a kid, like, all the things that, if you go back to your childhood self, so, yeah.
There's a saying we have, once a man, twice a child.
I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, no, it's an old Jamaican saying, meaning that you're born a child, you become a man, and then you become a child because your body doesn't work the way it used to.
Okay.
And stuff. So some people get fast tracked. Some people experience that due to sickness like yourself.
Yeah.
You've recovered, thank God, and stuff. So how long did it take you to recover? And what was the I'm not saying disease, I don't know what to call it. What was the thing why you said it happens in tall men? What was the name of the
it's called a pneumothorax. It's when your lung just collapses, but it's very common apparently in tall people.
But it's mainly skinny people.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get back down the gym then.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think a month and a half.
Oh, is it? That's not long.
Yeah. I have 3. Well, they've healed up now, but I had these 3, like on my rib cage, these 3 scars.
Mm-hmm.
I used to. They look like they were just 3 holes, and people would ask me what that was. I used to just make up stories just to see if people believed it. Yeah. But...
I had a hernia operation.
Okay.
And I always say, when I was in the military, I got caught and someone tried to cut me.
I told
my test.
I told people I got shot 3 times. I'm like, raw, really? I was like, yeah. It's not funny. You shouldn't joke about stuff like that.
Well, you can. Why not? I had a friend who had a hole in his heart.
Okay.
And that failed. Well, the heart failed, and he's had countless strokes, so they had to cage him.
Wow.
And he said he got, he's Nigerian, he said he got attacked by a lion when he was in Africa.
Wow.
That's what he does. You know? Oh, really? Yeah. And all that kind of thing, so. Yeah, you can tell a porky or two.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Have you heard of a rapper? Well, he's not really a rapper, he's more dancehall, but he's from Jamaica. I think he just went to prison for 3 years. He's called Tommy Lee Sparta.
No, but go on.
I know, I thought, I don't know. You said that you're Jamaican, or it's like a Jamaican saying. I thought you might know him.
Okay.
He's very rude.
Very rude?
Yeah.
Why? You met him or something?
No, but the stuff he says is just...
Okay.
It's very rude.
Okay.
But it's sort of like, I wouldn't say aggressive, but it's like very, you should listen to his tunes. I quite like them. But
Okay. So, yeah, what's the other story? Is it stories as in plural?
I used to go to, have you heard of squat raves?
Squatters' raves. It sounds like...
I can't believe I'm saying this.
It sounds like
Illegal raves.
Yeah, where the squatters usually break into somewhere and have a party. Yeah.
I used to go to those like abandoned warehouse parties when I was 16. I thought I was so cool. I was like, I'm doing something so cool, guy.
Yeah.
But you don't really realise that you can get into dangerous situations. I think I ended up meeting, because when you go there and it's illegal, or you go to these hippie raves, the people you meet there, you'll never meet them anywhere else. I'm not saying they're bad people, but they're just very interesting.
Yeah, you do get a colourful past, let's say.
Yeah. People from all walks of life, I guess. I ended up in this, I made some friends there, because I used to think that everyone was nice. I used to think if I'm a nice person, people are going to be nice to me.
No, that's not the case.
I know. But I was, do you know Commercial Road in Whitechapel?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I had some sort of friends that I thought were friends. And they brought me to this crack squat. And just like proper squat. Like people live there. And I just always used to smoke crack. I never smoked it, but I was thinking, okay, cool.
Yeah.
It's a bit weird. I think that's something very weird that I've done.
Okay.
And then I decided I don't want to go home. I had a missing persons case on me for a week. But I just decided I didn't want to go home. I just hung out in squats. But now looking back now, I'm 21 now, but looking back I think, what the fuck was I thinking?
Your parents went ballistic.
Yeah, my mum was really worried.
What did your dad say?
But I was like, what the fuck are you doing? But yeah.
Okay. Do you know what that reminds me of? Do you see that film, The Gentleman?
Yeah, I watched it last year.
Yeah, that's you. The
Oh,
girl.
what, the
girl.
That's not funny, that's quite rude.
No, not the one he died. Not when I say not the bit where she dies.
The one where like she went missing.
Yeah, and
yeah.
the parents, the gangs had to go and get her. Look at this true, though, isn't it? For what reason has she got her parents own a stately home?
Yeah.
And she just decided she's gonna go off with this. That was a superb film, though.
The first half I was a bit bored.
Really?
The way it's done is different. It's almost like they're telling a story and then they see the story happen.
Yeah, I've seen the film.
Okay.
I'm just saying, I don't know how you rolled with that.
Yeah, I really liked it. I really liked the fact, I really liked Bugsy Malone's appearance in that. I thought it was funny with their weed growing.
Mm-hmm. And I like those lot who, the runts or whatever, those teenagers who steal the weed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, stuff.
Have you ever watched Parasites?
I haven't watched it.
You should watch it.
I've heard of that.
It's really, really good.
So, what does the future hold for you?
I wish I knew. I wish we all knew. I don't know. I want to be a better person, because I feel like before I used to compare myself to other people, but now I feel like the only competition is yourself.
Yeah.
It sounds so cheesy, but it's just true.
It's true. Jordan Peterson says that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard of him before. He's a clinical psychiatrist. He says you compare yourself to who you were yesterday.
Yeah.
And that's how you know if you're improving and stuff. He said before you're 20, you can compare yourself to your peers because your lifestyle is the same.
Yeah.
But after that, everybody branches out.
Yeah.
So you can't compare yourself to other people. You're having different experiences.
Yeah.
In that regard to things, yeah. So, So the only other thing I was going to ask is, what's the impact you want to have on the world? You kind of answered that.
I want people to, I don't know, I just want to take people out of their shells. I feel like when you're a child, you're this open person, and then when you grow up, you're sort of like in this shell. I think people should just be nice to each other. But then I sort of realised through looking at history, and history always repeats itself, that you don't become big. I mean, like, you don't, no one who has ever become like a billionaire or ruled history or become a leader has ever got there by doing by being a good person. And I realised the world doesn't care if you're a nice person.
They care if they get what they want.
Yeah, so if someone's like a shark, like in business, some people like, I want this and I'm going to do anything to get it. I mean, it's kind of psychopathy, isn't it?
It's like, I look at it like this. Bill Gates is bad, but let me type this Word document. Steve Jobs was a tyrant, but let me call you on my Apple phone. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you're using all the environment needs to be saved, but I'm coming to you in my car. Yeah. It's like the list goes on, isn't it?
That's
Animal
funny.
Testing's bad, but let me use this nail varnish or shampoo. You know, the list is going on and on and on and on and on. You could say, really?
Yeah.
And you just give people what they want. They don't really want to know the behind the scenes.
Exactly.
In that respect of stuff there. Mm-hmm. But what would you say you've learnt throughout your life so far?
I would say that there's no such thing as good or bad people. This is very philosophical, but all we are is just product of experiences. People easily judge people. They think, oh, that person's bad because I've done that. But when you actually understand the psychology of someone and maybe something shaped them when they were younger and stuff. I was in a short film. Have you ever heard of, there's a big YouTube channel called Black Chat London?
No.
Or Trend Central?
No.
But they basically do kind of like podcasts. I think they'll film it in Walthamstow. They get like a group of girls, a group of guys, and then they say like a taboo question, like, do you care if you're dating someone who has a child or something out there? And then they just discuss, but it's very like, they argue a lot and stuff. But I'm friends with the director, and I was in a short film, and it was a short film about this guy, and he's part of a gang. And you can see his whole childhood, and you can see his parents, and he didn't grow up in a good home. And he's going to a gas station to prove himself, and the gang's like, you need to kill this man, you need to shoot him. And you can see that he's not what he's doing is bad, but it's shaped him because of what he's seen. Do you know what I mean?
It was shaped by our experiences.
Yeah. So I've realised that although some people may have gone through stuff, when they get to adult life, it's up to them to heal themselves. It's their responsibility. That's what I realised. But most people, they're ignorant. Like, ignorance is bliss, right? That's what you just said as well.
But then the decision-making part of the brain doesn't fully develop until 25.
Maybe,
so,
yeah.
No, that's a fact.
Yeah.
So when you look at that, even though the government likes to tax people at 16 and vote or whatever, and drinking at 18 and all the rest of it, that's for business purposes. But if in real retrospect, that says a lot about the conscious decision making that people make,
Yeah.
the young make. As in, like, I had you could say a prostitute, a working girl. She decided that she got into the business because she wanted to be a stripper like Cardi B.
Okay.
And then she went, okay, it's like it's nothing. And then that was her inspiration.
That's quite sad.
But every time I've interviewed a working girl, they all have one thing in common. They either didn't know their father or knew their father too well. So the father's job, I was speaking as a father of a daughter myself, to tell her that she's priceless and she doesn't need to do things and teach her about the dangers of the world and all those kind of things. And in hope you do it well enough that they don't want to put themselves in extreme danger.
Yeah.
And those kind of things. And it's sometimes, even where we may seem like we've come from a good home, there's been a glitch, let's say, why the child decides that they want to do something that is going to put them at major risk.
Yeah.
And as a parent, I don't know if you're the first child, I'm the first child, and I've got 4 children. And the thing is, you always make a mistake on your first child. You make all the mistakes.
I think my parents made mistakes.
Yeah. Do you see what I mean? And then you rectify that, and you get better and better with the younger ones because you realise where you went wrong in those respects of things. You know?
But like what you said, if you view it from a different perspective, like when people get into sex work or escorting or even stripping, I feel like right now, because of the music, it's sort of brainwashing people. But if you look at Cardi B and the way she talks to her daughter, she'll turn off the music. She'll say that my music is only for adults. And she talks about loads of sexual things. So then 16, 17-year-olds, or, you know, they want to get into that because they idolize it. But not for what it is, but for the cars and the, like, oh, I'm a player, I'm a girl boss. But I'm thinking that's a very dangerous game. Because you don't know what can happen.
Yeah, but it's because Cardi B and her partner, they're actually from that environment. That's the original environment from what I've been.
She used to be a stripper, yeah.
So that's how she's made her money. So now she's on this whole thing where that's what she's known for. She's trying to elevate herself, try and keep that money coming in, but she knows better that she doesn't want her daughter to have the life that she's had. It's a bit like a drug dealer. I used to know this drug dealer who's, well, you know, loads of different kind of drugs, but he sent his daughter to some of the best schools.
Yeah.
You know, with all those kind of pinstripe and the bowler hats and the scarves that they wear. And she's highly educated. I think she ended up going to Oxford.
Wow.
But her dad, you know, he was angry that she will never have to struggle, so he decided that's the way he knows how to earn money.
That's why most people do that stuff, right? They do it to try and do something risky.
Yeah, I suppose it's risk rewards. I've met some people who just like their lifestyle.
I don't get why you would like a lifestyle of paranoia, but...
Yeah, but it's just like...
Yeah.
It's like the same reason why people take drugs in the first place.
Yeah.
It's like, you could be as we know, bankers and lawyers and those people, politicians are probably one of the biggest markets for cocaine. Yeah. But it's like, well, you've got an established job. You can usually come from a good background. Why would you want to do that?
Exactly. I've got some friends and they do investment banking. I've never done coke, but I've been offered it loads of times. And they're all snorting stuff and it smells like petrol. I'm telling you guys, do you even know what you're taking? Like, do you not want to get a drug test kit? I'm a bit nerdy when it comes to stuff like that. I think you don't know what you're putting into your body. Like, I can sell you paracetamol and tell you it's coke, and you'll take it. And you'll probably think you're getting high off it. It's jokes, isn't it? It's not funny, it's actually quite sad.
Yeah, it is, but every man must choose his path. Every person must choose their path, you know, how they want to do things. And some people change, and some people don't. And that's where I believe curdling of the herd comes into play.
Yeah.
In that aspect of things, yeah. But it's been interesting talking to you.
Yeah, you too. Thank you for having me on this podcast.
And we wish you well. And well done for being super brave about your lungs. We hope you liked that interview. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to get the latest daily episode. Ever considered investing in the continent with the fastest growing economy and population on Earth? The same continent that holds 30% of the world's known natural resources? Then listen to our sister podcast, Africa Investor Stories, where you will hear real investors with real stories from around the world share their experience of investing in Africa. We post Monday and Thursday at 10 a.m.